Alright guys, so it's week 3. Me and Cody can't really get together and make a video. I'm headed to West Virginia in a couple hours to watch the Marshall-NC State game for the weekend. Should be a lot of fun. Not a Marshall fan, but when somebody offers you free tickets in a game, hell, you go. So I'm going to talk about a few things, and hopefully Cody makes a video too, and it'll intertwine, hopefully make a little sense to you. But so first I'm going to talk about some pretty big waiver pickups we had in our league this week. I feel like Rob, man, you made some good picks. You got Corey Clement. I really enjoyed that pickup. I'm gonna kind of get on to you for one thing though. Why the fuck is Dez Bryant still on your team? Yes, it deserves that word, because this is a waste of a roster spot. Just a waste. But good job on getting Clement. You really needed him with Freeman being out. And I like your and Cody's matchup this week. It's going to be fun to watch, I think. This is really hard without Cody doing it. There's a lot of lull. It's different. Okay. Cody had some pretty big pickups himself. He went back and picked up Austin Hooper after he already dropped him. I like that pickup. He picked up... Dang. See, I don't have notes today, so I can't remember off the top of my head. I know, but the one I really wanted to talk about was my pickup, which Cody's going to give me shit about, I'm sure, in his video. And I picked up Ryan Fitzpatrick. For some reason, man, we've been talking about him, but I got a good feeling like this isn't just a one-time deal. And if there's one last week you're going to play him, it's going to be this week against Pittsburgh, after Pittsburgh's just been giving up offense to everybody. And Tampa Bay clearly is not going to run the ball, so I just don't see a reason why I can't play him this week. And with Russell Wilson kind of disappointing me lately, I thought he was going to be like all in, the only offensive player they had, so he was going to get a bunch of points. Come to find out, you still need an offensive line to score fantasy points. So there's that. All right, so getting to the meat and potatoes. Week 3. Alright, so quarterbacks. I got a good feeling about a couple. I think my favorite are obviously Fitzpatrick. I think Ben's a good play. Big Ben's going to have a big week. I think Cam at Cincy's a good one. Matt Ryan and Drew Brees, both good ones. I think those are almost your guaranteed, like, alright, these guys are going to score a lot of points this week. Aaron Rodgers against Washington. Everyone's like, well, Washington has like the best defense against pass so far. They've played the Cardinals and whoever shit team they played last week, I forget. Honestly, I'm being bad at my memory right now, but that's not true. Oh, on that note, my other pickup that he's gonna make fun of. I picked up Miami's defense. Yeah, I don't know if I was drunk when I did it. I don't know. I just got this weird feeling like they're actually might be good. I was giving them shit all at the start of the year, like just don't touch Miami anything. But they've played 2 decent teams, and they don't look half bad. So I'm going to roll the dice this week. I kind of need some upside, so I'm going for it. Anyways, so quarterbacks. But for you guys out there looking for quarterbacks to stream, I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is a really good play this week. I picked him up in my ESPN league. I'm playing him over Matthew Stafford. I think Garoppolo, like it's Kansas City, and Kansas City... Yeah, they've been winning, but they're also giving up a crap ton of points. So I like the fact that they're gonna have to be in a shootout for that one as well. So picked him up. Oh, Matt Breida last week did good for me too. So still winning on that water bet so far, Cody. So running backs are a little different this week. You got some injuries with Jay Ajayi and stuff. So I've already said I like Corey Clement. I think he's probably the best waiver pickup right now. If you're in PPR leagues, Marcus Murphy for the Bills, if you don't really have much going for. I also picked up Javaris, or Buck Allen, as some people like to call him, in Baltimore. Being Cody, and I think most of the world knows, Alex Collins is the better back, but the dude grabs fantasy points, and in PPR in PPR situations, then sometimes that's what you gotta have. So I got him on my bench just in case I need him. Also, picked up Aaron Jones after I think Brandon dropped him, and you never know, in a couple weeks that might be a decent pickup. So anyways, but back to running backs. Corey Clement, I think that's a good one. I think you're guaranteed a bunch of points with Kareem Hunt, Matt Breida, Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey. I like Melvin Gordon still. He's gonna catch. He's proven he's getting targets and he's getting the rushing goal line. So I like him. If you're in a tight spot, Giovanni Bernard with Joe Mixon being out, I don't hate it. I mean, if you got to play him. If Leonard Fournette plays, playing Leonard Fournette for sure. But outside of those, I'm not too confident. I'm not like guaranteed on a lot of other people. Wide receivers this week, I really like. The obvious choices, DeAndre, Julio, OBJ. I really like DeAndre. I think this is Houston's back. That kind of like jump back into their high scoring offense. I think Deshaun's just been like kind of throwing the rust off. So we're gonna see how that goes. But they're one of my stacks in DraftKings because I think people are gonna be like steering away from them because they haven't been like blowing up the scene. So maybe that'll work out for me. We'll see. My big wide receiver sleeper these weeks are, though, that's the one I want to talk about. John Brown. I love John Brown this week. I love John Brown from now on. Like, we've always known he's had the talent, but now he's actually getting the targets. He's not in like a big wide receiver crew. He's got to fight targets off with Michael Crabtree and whichever tight end they decide to throw it to. Which, if they ever pick one, I'm going to pick him up, but they haven't picked one yet. So, because I'm watching on TV, big shout out to the Browns finally winning their first game. And I don't know, a long time. I don't know what the actual number is. I'm sure it'll pop up here in a minute. I was with you, Cody, in my other league. I was Jarvis Landry, and the other guy was Isaiah Crowell. And I was with you the whole time going, Jarvis Landry, Jarvis Landry. And then thank God for Baker Mayfield, which I never thought I'd utter those words. Finally coming in and giving Jarvis Landry some targets and some catchable balls. So that was nice. And I also had Carlos Hyde in my ESPN league. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good today about that game. Outside of the fact that I didn't stack a DraftKings with those people. But, so I like John Brown. As much as I think Marquise Goodwin, because I already talked about Garoppolo. I think that's a good one. I picked him up in our league. So I might have to play him over Fournette if Fournette's not for sure playing. And then, trying to think, who's the other? I had one more. I like Brandon Cooks this week. Like, I know he's still 7,000 in DraftKings, but if he's on your team, I definitely don't think about not playing him. I really like Brandon Cooks this week. He's one of my, like, maybe a lot of people won't play him, and I'm going to. There's not really much. I think all the other ones are pretty straightforward on, like, just price-wise. But I can't think of anybody that's that big of a upside this week that I haven't already mentioned. But tight ends. So, here we go. Here's where I think it actually gets fun this week for tight ends. So, you had Jesse James go off. Or, when I say go off, he got 5 targets. And they're going to be playing Tampa Bay in what we assume to be a shutout. I really like Jesse James. This one might be a clear one, but there's a reason behind why I'm mentioning him. Zach Ertz. 1, because I just got a trade for him, so that was awesome. And 2, Carson Wentz is back. And when those two are on the field, Zach Ertz gets more. He just gets more. So I really like Zach Ertz this week against Indianapolis. I really like George Kittle because of Garoppolo again. He burned me a little bit last week, but I still like the play. Juno Smith, however you want to say his name. Juno, I don't know, people are saying it different. For Tennessee. Yes, he didn't do diddly squat last week with Delaney Walker out. But Blaine Gabbert was the quarterback. I don't know what you want. He played 100% of the snaps. They had nobody else. So if you're just, like, struggling, I vote go get him or one of the Ravens tight ends, whichever one you want. I like Bull, I think, the best out of them. But those two. But Jesse James is probably my favorite tight end pickup. if you can pick one up. Um, yeah, this is definitely different doing it by yourself. It's definitely better with two. Defenses. So I already talked about my Miami defense pickup. I just like that play this week. I didn't like my Baltimore-Denver play. Baltimore's going to be good, and I'm sure someone picked them up in our league already. But defenses, if you don't have Minnesota, the Rams, or Jacksonville, everybody else you can stream, and I'm not going to feel bad about whatever happens afterwards. I went on a limb. That's something you got to do sometimes. But so defenses, obviously, the three I just mentioned, Minnesota, especially against the Bills, I think is like the 100% safe play. Jacksonville versus Tennessee, pretty big safe play. And then, the Chargers play the Rams, which, the Chargers are going to score some points maybe, but the Rams are going to get interceptions, sacks, so, obviously you're playing all three of those. I think other sneaky plays, sadly, I probably would have said the Browns defense, but that didn't work out so great. I want to say, Denver's defense versus Baltimore. That's not really, a sneaky play, but I think maybe it's possible to do out there. Obviously, the Bears defense is playing really well, so if you can pick them up in any of your leagues, I like them. New England versus Detroit. I like New England versus Detroit this week. I think New England wipes the floor with Detroit. I'm not playing any Detroit players, and I like that. That's my sneaky one, I guess, if I had one. Yeah. So my stack for the week is obviously, I've already told you because I picked them up. I'm playing Fitzy, Deshaun Jackson. I might even play O.J. Howard in one with him, but definitely playing Corey Clement in all mine. Matt Breida and anything if you can. You can do two low running backs, and then you can do your high end wide receivers. You can get like a Tyreek Hill and a Brandon Cooks, and then throw in a Marquise Goodwin. If you're or Chris Goodwin if you're doing like I'm doing the Fitzpatrick, the other good one who plays for Tampa Bay. That's not a bad play either. I'll probably switch it up a couple and do Mike Evans. Sometimes you need to do that, make your stacks a little different. But you can't always be 100% sure on who's going to catch a touchdown. It's just easier to pick the quarterback than it is who's throwing the ball than it is the one who's catching it. My bold predictions for the week. So I'm going to predict that Houston scores more than 30 points. I'm also going to predict that Miami holds Oakland to less than 10. And I'm going to predict that either Kareem Hunt or Matt Breida. This is going to be hard because I still think Alvin Kamara could do it. I think one of those two ends up being the highest scoring running back of the week in fantasy. And then I think Dalvin Cook has a bounce back week. He hasn't been doing bad. I think he's had kind of a lull, not great, not awesome. Everybody's worried about the injury. I think playing Buffalo, all they're going to do is run the ball. So unless he's just kind of still not feeling too great, it's going to be Dalvin Cook for pretty much the second quarter on, I think. That's why I'm almost kind of afraid to play any of my Minnesota guys in my DraftKings outside of Dalvin Cook. Because I just feel like they're not going to have a reason to throw the ball. Let's see, I had one more other one. Oh, my biggest surprise is, so now that we're into week 3 and we talked about biggest surprises, continuous surprise. Last week we said we're not going to talk about Tampa Bay because everybody knows that was weird. Well, now I'm going to talk about Tampa Bay because now it's weird that I think it's real. I think maybe they're on to something, or maybe Fitzy and his Harvard magic has figured something out finally. I definitely think he ends up staying the starting quarterback unless the head office there is just retarded. Because Jameis Winston's been nothing but trouble since he got there. And so I think that's my big surprise, that I'm actually on board with this Tampa Bay train, and I'm going to ride it till it burns me, probably. I think the other biggest surprise is Antonio Brown. I'm not worried about him. Like, if you have Antonio Brown, you're playing him every week, no matter what, unless he's injured. But I guess I'm surprised at just how much more Juju's done than Antonio. I guess not little, but how much more Juju's done. And we'll see how that works out. I'm also surprised at how long this Le'Veon Bell thing's lasted. Yeah, if you're one of those owners, I'm sorry. That's got to be rough. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this week. I hope everybody has a good week, a good weekend, and good luck on week 3.